what's up, guys? Conquest MMA here, and UFC 307 just wrapped up, and I'll be recapping the main event all the way down to the opener. Uh, that women's fight, whatever, that was lackluster. I'm gonna start off with the main event, the title fight: Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. This was a fucking great fight. I honestly made the entire card worth it. It was a bit on the mid side. Sometimes it dipped into bad, but overall, I liked it. Pretty memorable. Alex Pereira cements himself as one as come on. He's probably like the second greatest light heavyweight of all time. Of course, there will be people who dispute that because he didn't know how to wrestle or didn't face guys who tried to wrestle him, but that's for tomorrow and not for today. Alex Pereira is so great. He honestly, like the first two rounds had me worried a bit. I've seen um, I've seen a bit of Kenny Okoye's video where he rage baits, but he said come to this video when Alex Pereira will win, but will struggle against Khalil Roundtree. He didn't struggle, son. I'll tell you why. This is exactly like he struggled a little bit, but this is like Pereira Adesanya 1 and a bit of 2 actually, where Pereira lost the first 2 rounds, but even though he was losing, he was still out striking Khalil, right? I think in the first 2 rounds he didn't give Khalil the respect he deserved, and gradually Khalil were, like earned it, right? Because Khalil has done better than any other of the title defenses Alex had. I'm not saying he did better than Jan. Jan didn't get finished, and you could argue that Jan won. I don't agree. I thought Jan lost, but that was a very close fight. Anyway, Alex Pereira was still outstriking Khalil, even though it's by like minuscule amounts. It's the stats don't lie. But I will be rewatching it if sometimes the numbers do tell a different story from the actual fight. I do remember a sense of dread when the worry creeped up where I thought Alex Pereira was gonna actually lose because Khalil's a southpaw. Now this is what makes Alex so great. He faces not stylistic nightmares, well a little bit, but he overcomes them. Adesanya comes into a stylistic nightmare, someone who shouldn't be on his level, and he gets dog walked for 5 rounds. Alex Pereira bides his time, imposes his will, and gets him out of there. Gets out of a fucking contender that shouldn't be there in the first place. I just feel like Alex Pereira's whole career is just going to be one-upping Adesanya, doing everything Izzy was supposed to do, but failed at better. This is Pereira Sean Strickland, someone who doesn't deserve to fight for the title, but gave a tough test and showed everyone that styles make fights. Khalil is a great guy. I didn't hate him before the fight. I honestly kind of liked him, but now I like him even more. But I do think this is maybe a one-off in the career, just because I can see him being Yuri. I don't see him being Jamal. I don't think he would beat Jamal Hill though. But that's for another fight. I don't know if it will happen. It probably would, but this was a great fight, and Alex Pereira kind of started melting. He cut Khalil with a fucking jab. That shit was awesome. And I'm gonna be honest, this is my second time recording because the first time I fucked it up, and when my earbuds died, That's why the audio is so shitty. It's on a fucking earbud. But one of them died, so I have to. So it just cut up all the audio, which fucked me over. I was just basically yapping for like 10, 12 minutes for no reason. But he started melting Khalil. Khalil started dripping wet like a fucking popsicle on a hot summer's day. And by round 4, look at the strike differential. Khalil, this was a little flashes of Pereira Adesanya two, except Pereira fucking got this guy out of there. He was a bit more patient. Like when you got Khalil gets the cage, he was waiting. He throw a little jabs, trying to bait out Khalil, then he'd slip. And dude, Alex Pereira's head movement is underrated. When he gets into the neck of things, he's neck deep into a fight. His head movement is elite. I don't think enough people talk about it, right? He is the best striker in UFC history, man. Adesanya couldn't even do this to a guy that was a stylistic nightmare. Alex fucking finished the guy that was supposed to be a stylistic nightmare. I guess Izzy is a stylistic nightmare as well because he's a southpaw, but they're 1-1. They're dead even. And I hate that Izzy. He's what I'm saying. He beat his ass like brother. He was still outstriking me. Like he was still outstriking me, buddy. But this was not a close call because he was getting his aura. Like Alex Pereira is the greatest aura merchant of all time because he can channel aura and turn it into power. And that sounds like the most dumbass, uh, dumb, that's retarded shit I've ever said. And it's true though. Like you see aura merchants like BSD, he can't do that. He's too French. Even though he's actually killed people, he's you can't some things you can't change. Alex Pereira is an indigenous Brazilian Chad that can turn aura into power. Right during the face-offs, dude, I thought Khalil was feeling the aura. Like he looks like he was fucking sweating buckets, like all fucking jittery and shit. But then he showed me in the first 2 rounds where he stung Pereira. But I guess he just stung him, but he didn't knock Pereira down. I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't count that little slip thing Pereira did as a knockdown either. To be honest, I was talking about the women's bantamweight title fight. Listen, I didn't really care about this fight. I use this as like a little break for the main event. You don't want to be too amped up before, but I saw bits and pieces of it, and it seemed like a decent fight. Obviously there was no finish, and of course it went to a split decision. But I have heard yells that this was a robbery, and I don't have a solid opinion of it because frankly I do not care. I don't care because both of the women's bantamweight fights in the main card were boring. I did watch the whole card, but I don't like to pick the whole card because I'm not too familiar with their game. So I'm not gonna talk much about it. Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. I'll be honest. First time I was watching this fight, I thought Mario Batista fought a very smart fight, and he won. I thought he won, but now I think about it, I don't know if I'm being gaslit again, but I wasn't too sure myself. I could see Jose Aldo win. I thought at first Jose Aldo was gonna win. I was gonna think, man, Mario Batista got robbed, but there's like a lot of people think Jose Aldo won, but I don't know if I'll chalk it up to I don't know, fucking bias. Probably a little bit of that. because it's Jose Aldo. Come on, the King of Rio. But Mario Batista really, I gave him the first, and I gave Jose Aldo the second. The third was close because not much happened. I can see why they gave it to Mario Batista because I'm not gonna act like Jose Aldo did much in the third round, but like if you consider effective grappling, how is smudging someone against the cage and failing takedowns effective grappling? Like what? That does not. That's not a fight finisher. He was hitting like he was hitting him with his shoulder. Listen, I don't like where the sport is headed, even especially at bantamweight. The moments where Mario Batista did decide to strike with Jose Aldo, he did have his moments. Right, I'm not gonna act like he didn't. He he played Jose Aldo very well. He cheesed him to the fullest. You know, no one can stand Jose Aldo for too long. You have to smudge him into the fucking cage. Get a fucking cage imprint on his back. I do think this is a light robbery, but I'm not gonna cry about it because Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I picked Roman Dolidze. I knew he was gonna win for. I just sensed it. It's not because Roman Dolidze is good, even though in the video, my pick video, I did list. I think I did list why I think Roman Dolidze would win, but no, he none of that happened because Roman Dolidze is the flukiest fighter. I don't. I think he's overrated. I kind of like him, but he's not. He's not good. He got beat by Marlon Vettori. Both of these guys did. These two are Marlon Vettori's sons. And Kevin Holland should go back to 170. He is too frail. Uh, I guess. I guess he's too fucking frail. His rib fucking broke. Something happened. I was so dumbfounded when I found out that Kevin Holland has had a freak injury on the ground. I guess that's what he gets for pressing Joaquin Buckley. We'll talk about him later, even though I didn't include him in the pick video. Oh my god, this was a great fight, but this is some way to kill all that hype. There's always there's little breaks in the main event. Now in the beginning, you can go people can go into the arena just in time for this fight. Come on, bro. This fight was boring. I was not personally invested with it. I picked the woman with muscles, and she won. And that's all I have to say. She'll probably beat Juliana Pena because I don't fucking know. At least the women's division will have someone interesting as champ. I will say, Juliana Pena is fucking ducking Kayla Harrison. That is embarrassing. She called out Amanda Nunes. Like, she didn't get beaten brutally. Like, she didn't get a fluke win over her. So embarrassing. Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley's ass. I don't even know if it could. I guess he was overrated. To me, I rated him highly. I didn't think he would win a championship. I would say he would probably the first he'll go is top 5. And maybe I'll be right. Because I do think he's overrated. He was getting tuned up by a 41-year-old man. All he could do was smudge him against the cage. Like this fight. But he knew he was gonna lose, so he threw a Hail Bailey punch and killed Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson showed a good showing. Joaquin Buckley gets killed by JDM, and this time Joaquin Buckley had a good call out against Kamaru Usman. But no way Kamaru Usman is accepting that call out. He's gonna campaign for an undeserved title fight. because that's what the UFC does nowadays. I don't know why I'm so down. Like the main event was so fucking good. Like this was a great fight. This made the whole event worth it. Let's see what good fights at the main event. I don't know about the co-main. I glanced up and you know, someone got dropped. Someone actually something happened. I like this fight. I like this fight. It was kind of weird, but I kind of liked it. This was pretty good. This was a great fight. Good fight. Good, very good fight. Uh, this is like a blink if you miss it fight. I didn't really fucking care. This was a good fight. Fast finish, good start off to the card, and that's everything I have to recap about UFC 307, Salt Lake City, and
see you soon, boy.